Hey guys, Telegram Sam here. If you don't already know, I have an Instagram. It's telegram_Sam_vinyl. So if you're on Instagram, check me out there. But speaking of Telegram Sam, we're being very on brand this video by talking about the T-Rex 1972 box set that just came out last month. This is a 6 LP box set. This is the version that has the signed print by Tony Visconti. I think it was only limited to 200. But yeah, we're going to dig into everything that is in the box set and my thoughts and feelings on this box set, since I did listen to all of the LPs that are on this. So let's get into it. So yeah, first off, this is the box with this beautiful picture of Mark Bolan's pretty face on it. And then this is the back. It has all the listing of what's on the LPs and where they're from. And then first off, when you first open the box, is this signed print of the slider photo cover by Tony Visconti. And yes, Tony Visconti did take this picture. Mark Bolan credited Ringo Starr with taking this picture because he thought if he credited a Beatle, a lot more people would buy the album. But no, Tony Visconti did take this picture. So that's really cool. I definitely need to find a frame for this. And then after that, you get this lovely 24-page booklet that has a 1,600-word note by Tony Visconti about the production of the slider and just his time with Mark and the whole year of 1972 and what a phenomenal year that was for both T-Rex and, the beginnings of glam rock during the time, as well as a brand new 12,000-word essay by Bolan's definitive biographer, Mark Patras, and also features previously unreleased photos. Wow, I'm not good at showing this. Like that one. And I've only read like half of this so far, but it's just a very interesting read. And, hearing Tony Visconti's personal connection, to T-Rex and the album Slider, which this whole box set pretty much revolves around since that was the year this album came out. And just the essay is really well written and talking about a really in-depth history of, pretty much from the beginning of 1972 to the end of 1972, and just Mark Bolan's inspirations and, the whole T-Rex mania that was going on during that time in Britain. And it's just a very interesting read. I love that picture of him. And let's get into the first LP, which is just a reissue of the album Slider that comes on red vinyl. I'm not really impressed with the sound quality on this. It's pretty quiet. I really had to sort of turn my stereo up a lot louder than I usually have it, just to really fully hear and listen to this record. They did really, really great reissues of all of the T-Rex albums about 2 years ago that came on clear vinyl that sound phenomenal. So I think if you're just looking to get Slider, I think that would be a better version than getting this box set just for Slider. And then the next LP is Live at Wembley, the matinee show, and this one just came on white vinyl. And you have a great mix of not only stuff that would be on the Slider, but also on their previous album that came out in 1971, Electric Warrior. So it's a great mix of both of those albums. And then next one is Live at the Wembley, the matinee show continued on blue vinyl. And this one also features bonus tracks, alternate mixes with 1972 overdubs from the evening show of Baby Strange and Hot Love. So that's pretty cool. I think those are previously unreleased as well. And then next up we have Born to Boogie, the soundtrack album. I actually didn't know anything about this movie before I got this box set and was reading up on it. But yeah, I had no idea that T-Rex and Mark Bolan did a movie with Ringo Starr. But you have a lot of repeated stuff that is on the Wembley show LPs, because they used a lot of that that footage and those audio recordings in the movies, so those are also on here. So it's kind of just a rehash of all the stuff that was on the previous 2 LPs. But then you also have versions of Tutti Frutti featuring T-Rex, Ringo Starr, and Elton John, as well as Children of the Revolution. You also have some like spoken word things, like you have Mark Bolan doing a reading of a poem called Electric Wind, and some string orchestral reworkings of some songs. And yeah, it's a very interesting listen. I definitely have to watch this movie now. And then next up, oh yeah, and I don't know if I showed this, but this one came on red vinyl as well. And then next up we have Mark Bolan's 1972 US radio sessions. This one is really great. This to me is like the highlight record of this entire box set, and this one came on white vinyl. But it's essentially him just doing acoustic versions of Spaceball, Ricochet, Jeepster, Cosmic Dancer, Main Man, Ballrooms of Mars, The Slider, and another version of Spaceball, Ricochet. So yeah, this is a very interesting acoustic version, sort of unplugged version of a lot of his most well-known songs from both of those albums. And then last but not least is what they call T-Rextras. The first side has T-Rex on the BBC in 1972, so essentially just has all of their performances throughout that year that they were on the BBC, like Metal Guru, The Slayer, Mystic Lady, Children of the Revolution, their Christmas Top of the Pops version of Telegram Sam, which I guess is a very hard single to come by. And the B-side has all of the B-sides that were part of the singles that they released, like Cadillac, Thunderwing, Lady, Jitterbug Love, and then it also features a fan club flexi disc of their Christmas records. So yeah, this is a cool thing to have, and this one just came on blue vinyl. But yeah, I would say my highlights and the reason to buy this album would be those last 3 albums, which would be the Born to Boogie soundtrack, which is the first time that's ever been released in full, and all of the little US radio sessions, the BBC sessions, and the B-sides, I think would be the reason a lot of people and a lot of T-Rex fans would buy this box set, and definitely the highlight of the box set for me. Definitely the downfall of this box set, I would say, is the Slider reissue. It's not a remaster, it's not a reworking of it, so I feel like you can definitely find a lot better reissues for like $20 or $30, or even just later 70s reissues for better money than what this box set gives you. And the Wembley show is kind of very lackluster. The audio quality isn't really that great, and plus there's a lot of like screaming girls throughout the recording, so it kind of takes away from the music a little bit, but it also kind of adds a perspective of what the whole T-Rex mania was like back then. But yeah, it kind of just depends on your perspective. And definitely, you know, this booklet is a really great read and really well written. Sort of insight into Mark Bolan and the T-Rex and Tony Visconti's work, and also their work on Slider, and what, you know, going to the US for the first time and really trying to push the whole glam rock T-Rex thing onto people. It's funny because T-Rex really didn't become popular until after Mark Bolan's death in the US, at least from what I've heard and what I've read. He was kind of always just very big in Britain. It wasn't until like the 80s and 90s when a lot of his stuff from Electric Warrior and the Slider was used in a lot of movies, that he kind of became popular in America finally. But yeah, really a great read. It's so great to see, you know, pictures of him and Ringo and other members of the band. But yeah, I paid about $185. Definitely the most I've ever paid for anything music related so far. And it was something I had to import. This is something that they're only selling in Europe and the UK. And I just bought it through Amazon. So yeah, it costs about $185, and that was including shipping, and I pre-ordered it. Now, of course, because this was the limited 200 version with the signed Tony Visconti print, now those are completely sold out, and people are upselling them for $200 to $255. So I think that's a little insane. But they still have the 6 LP box set without the signed print on Amazon for about, I think it's $156, $155 from what I saw this morning. And then they also did a 5 CD set, which includes everything that was with the box set, including the 24-page booklet, for about $89. But I saw some pretty sketchy reviews where people were having problems with the CDs, they weren't playing. So I don't know, maybe look into that first and look into the reviews before you buy that 5 LP CD set. And then they just did a 2 LP a white 108 gram version that just has highlights, like 3 or 4 songs from each of the LPs on here. So it's essentially just sort of like a Cliff Notes version of everything that's on the box set. Would I recommend this to everyone? Is this something I think everyone needs? No. I think this is something like if you're a really big T-Rex fan like me, or just really want to hear some rarities or the live Wembley show, I think this is a great option. But if you're just sort of getting into T-Rex, or if you're a casual T-Rex fan, I think the 2 LP version will do fine. It's around $30, which is very, very reasonable considering it's a 2 LP gatefold. So I think that's a little bit more reasonable if you're just, again, not a diehard, need to have everything T-Rex has ever released sort of person. But I do think this is a great box set, and I definitely don't regret purchasing it. I'm still very happy with it. And yeah, I just love T-Rex, and they mean a lot to me, especially now that I go by Telegram Sam. I do have sort of a personal connection to them now. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you have this box set or a version of it and what you think of it. Dying to hear your thoughts and feelings. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.